things will naturally happen once you just take one step towards it. Once you take the tiny steps, once you say that I want this and I'm gonna try for it, I'm gonna go for it. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Orooj. If you're new here, basically on this channel I talk about my thoughts, my thoughts about certain things and topics that I find interesting. I think I'm going to use that as like a tagline now because I can't think of anything else. But yeah, so today's topic is going to be on how to fall in love with your life and how to actually feel more fulfilled in life. This is a topic that I wish I had the answers to before, but now I feel like I have some answers and I can give some insight as to how I've made my life more fulfilling and fun and better for myself at least. But yeah, I'm gonna give a little backstory though. So there's always like some story that triggers something. So I graduated last year, but after graduating I was like very lost because I realized that once I'd finished my studies I didn't have much really built for myself and my life or anything really going for me, which was really bad. So I realized that I needed to actually, you know, do some things for my life, because everybody has like a vision of what they want their life to look like, but it's not going to just magically happen. You gotta make it happen. And it's the same thing with like, again, like having certain dreams or having certain visions. You gotta take some steps, take some actions to actually be that person, and that's how you'll make your life more fulfilling and you'll achieve that life that you want for yourself, because it's again about putting in the work, and overall it's about finding that happiness. The thing about happiness too is that you're not always going to feel happy in life, but you can make your life overall happy and just try to be that happy person, you know. So what I'm going to be talking about is mainly about like mindset shifts that have helped me to make my life more fulfilling, as well as practical things that I started to do within my life. But yeah. Okay, so the first thing is I want you to just kind of assess where you are in life right now and what are some things that you might want to change and what are some things like you actually like about your life. So when I think about back then after graduating, I had a few things that I liked about my life, in the sense that I liked how my mindset was. I liked having my friends and family around me, and I knew what was important to me and what wasn't important to me. But I didn't have a lot of practical things set up for myself, such as being more focused on my career, for example. Although that's like the time that you're supposed to be more focused, but again, you get lost and you gotta just find your way back again. So or even like having something outside of school. Now that I was gone from school, how was I still gonna meet people or connect with others now that I don't have an excuse to be surrounded by people who are like my age, right? So it's like finding certain things that worked for me and that will work for you. So first things first, again, assess where you are in life and the things that you want to change or not change. What do you like about your life? Keep those things in your life. What is important to you? Keep those things in your life. But what do you want to change about your life? What is something that you're not really content with or happy about? Take a look at who you're spending your time with, what your environment is like, and think about what you want. What do you want different? Like, let's say I wanted to start taking my fitness and health more seriously. I was never that type of girl to do that, but now I'm getting there, which I'm really like happy about, because honestly it makes me feel so much better. I would say have something physical going on, whether it be for, again, like your body. You have to move your body. You have to do something that'll help with that. Have something mentally. You gotta keep educating yourself throughout your whole life. Education will not stop. Learning never stops, and it should never stop, and you should not want to stop ever learning, because learning is how you grow, and learning is so much fun. Okay, and feeling like spiritually fulfilled is another thing too. So for me, I'm Muslim. I pray my daily prayers, and that's what grounds me every single day. Without it, I feel like something's missing in my life. So again, you gotta just find what works for you. Let's get into some mindset shifts that might help. So growing up, I've always just kind of like wanted to take the back seat with life. Basically, it meant that I was just kind of cruising on in life and waiting until something would happen for me. It was like I was waiting for life to happen, as if there was like some destined type of fate, and I was just kind of cruising on in my timeline. And that everything would just happen for me. Like I didn't have to do anything or be active or, again, actively participate in my own life, which is weird to think, because some people are like, yeah, you gotta like, you know, make decisions, take decisions, do whatever. For some reason back then my mindset was kind of like, okay, school, I'll just complete that. Like I had things given to me and I would just complete them and do them. And when I was feeling kind of lost in life, it was also kind of like I would sometimes wish that I was in a video game where I would just kind of be given the levels that I had to go through and just like tick mark everything off and then just achieve my goals, and everything would be easy breezy. Someone would just give me what I wanted and I would just get through life. But that's not how life works. That is not real life. Life is not a video game. Well, it can be a video game if you want it to be, but not like those type of video games. You gotta build your life. You gotta create your life. When people talk about having their dream life, it's not just gonna come to you. You gotta work for it. You gotta build it. It's not about finding yourself necessarily. It's about creating yourself. Like obviously, you'll find yourself. You'll figure out what you like, what you don't like, what works for you, what doesn't. But you also have the chance and the freedom to build and create your own life. You make those daily choices for yourself that make you go one direction or the other. And that's why I say you gotta help yourself and build your own life, okay? So you can make that video game for yourself. No one's gonna give you that video game for you to complete the levels of, okay? If you imagine something for yourself, you're gonna have to take those steps. Now again, I believe in God. I believe in Allah, and it says too that if you take one step towards Him, He will take multiple steps towards you. So it's like, again, God will only help those who help themselves. You can be asking, praying, and just like putting your hands together and wanting something to just happen. But if you don't help yourself, it's not gonna happen, okay? And this I had to learn the hard way, because like you start waiting for something to happen, waiting for life to just magically get better. And then it doesn't. And you're like, well, shoot, what am I waiting for now? Like you're waiting for absolutely nothing, because nothing's going to change because you're not making any changes, okay? And that's the same thing with like waiting for happiness. Some people just wait to be happy or wish to be happy or say, when I have this, I'm going to be happy. When I have that, I'll be happy. When I've accomplished this, I'll be happy. No, happiness comes from the journey. Happiness comes from building yourself. Happiness is a state of being, and it's now. You can be happy now, okay? You can't wait to be happy. It doesn't work that way, because you're never going to get that happiness. Like back in high school when I was a moody teen, I was always like waiting for life to just get better. Life gets better when you make it better. So now you want to be that certain person. You want to build that dream life. You want to live a life that you really enjoy and love. But it's not there right now, and you're not there yet. What's stopping you? What's stopping you? You got to think about that. Like what's preventing you from being that person or having that life? And you'll realize that a lot of it is just your inner critic or your inner fears, or you're just stopping yourself from a lot of things. Now again, there's tons of factors that can be stopping for something, but people who got what they wanted in life didn't make excuses. I used to make excuses for myself all the time. Sometimes I still kind of do it because it's been a bad habit, and I've had it for like years. But when you excuse yourself, you don't give yourself the opportunity to try. You don't give yourself the opportunity to maybe even get there. And it's just kind of like you're succumb to your fear. Did I use that word right? I hope I did. But you're just, like you have a bunch of fears The only way that you'll overcome those fears and become even stronger and more fearless is by facing those fears. And that's why it's important to exit your comfort zone. Now, what I want you to do is, if you have a certain goal or vision for yourself, find out what's stopping you from getting there, and how you can kind of exit your comfort zone or push your boundaries a little bit. And I know that we have a lot of fears. A lot of them are irrational fears. But the only way to get better is to face those fears. You don't want to call up that person, but you know that you want to be that type of person who just can easily have a phone call and it goes by smoothly. You got to make those phone calls. You got to start somewhere. Now, again, there's different parts of your life that'll make you feel fulfilled. But when you feel fulfilled in yourself, everything will kind of just fall in place. First thing is to work on your mindset, because that's what drives everything. Even if you change something outside of that, your mindset will kind of bring you back to your old ways. So number one is changing your mindset around things, okay? And not giving yourself excuses. So I like to do this thing where I say, no fear, no excuses, and no complaints. Those are the 3 things that will help change my mindset and hopefully help me grow. And it has helped me so far. No fear, no complaints. What did I say the last one was? No fear, no excuses, no complaints, okay? Say it with me. No fear, no excuses, and no complaints. Now, you also should have things in your life that you're doing for your heart and your soul. A lot of the time you spend is at work, for example. And I know it's a very difficult topic to talk about, because a lot of people do love their work and a lot of people don't. And I'm not saying go quit your job and find something that fulfills you, because obviously you got a life that you're living right now. You got bills to pay. Be realistic. But it's about finding joy in tiny things. You can either look at it from a negative lens or a negative perspective, or you can look at it from some positive perspective. There's a lot of perks to things that you don't realize. I'm taking a lot of pauses, I don't know why. It's that saying where you don't know what you have until you don't have it anymore. For example, we take our health for granted. You don't really know that you have that until it's gone. With anything in life too, there's, again, just being grateful is one of the main key mindsets as well to having a fulfilled life, is to just be grateful for everything that you have and be grateful for what more you can have too. Now, this is where it comes to no comparisons. Do not compare yourself to other people. Everybody's on their own pathway, on their own timeline, and comparing is just gonna drag you down and make you feel like you're not doing enough when you're doing enough, okay? If you feel like you're actually not doing enough, maybe that's a sign to just push yourself, okay? But don't compare yourself, and don't do it for other people, do it for yourself. Now, another thing is, you finally want to make that change, but you're finding it hard to stick by that change. This is where it's important, because you have got to stick to that change. You will not see progress within the first few weeks of trying something. That's not how progress works, okay? You got to give yourself some time to see something come out of it. And I was skeptical about this, because I'm usually the type that I need to see something happening right now, otherwise I'll want to give up. But I realized the more I put work into it and just kept trying to build that life for myself, it became easier. And I actually feel a lot more fulfilled, because I've been working towards something and I'm still continuing to work towards something. Things do eventually come out of it too. You don't see it just yet, but you just got to keep going forward, because if that's what you want, no one got to where they wanted just by stopping. If you just stopped, again, you're missing out on that potential, and that's a fear. It's a fear that you have, okay? No more excuses. Again, no fear, no excuses, no complaints. Now, again, if you don't like what you're doing and you actually hate it, then you can make changes. But if you're just not feeling it, I don't feel like doing this right now, you are cheating yourself, man. You're lying to yourself. I'm trying to call myself out and call you guys out. Stop lying to yourself. Stop cheating yourself. Stop cheating your life, okay? If you want that life, you have to put in the work. You gotta push through. You gotta face your fears. You gotta do the things that normal people will not do. And why do you think everybody doesn't have that life that they want? Because they're too scared to do it. They don't want it enough. I'm not saying I'm like, the most fearless person, or I know what I'm doing or know what I'm saying. I'm just saying that these experiences have taught me perseverance, and that you gotta just keep pushing and keep going at it, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about self-concept. Now, when you're thinking about building your dream life, creating a life for yourself, how you feel about yourself is very, very important, because that's, again, what kind of drives your decisions within your day-to-day basis, okay? And your day-to-day will eventually accumulate to your month-to-month, to your year-to-year, to your whole life, okay? Do you think that you can't do certain things? Do you think that you don't have knowledge for certain things? Do you feel like you're not good enough for certain things? Do you talk yourself down? See the way that you think, talk, and feel about yourself, because that's what pushes you to do certain things. Like, I have a ton of examples. When I first started looking around for, like, when I first kind of joined the job market, I felt really insecure, but also like I didn't have any experience, or I just didn't know how the process worked at all, because I truly did not know, okay? But it was also, I was telling myself that I just didn't know, and I was scaring myself, that when I started to get into it, it was like freaking out. But when I got more used to it and I started actually getting into it, then I started to build that confidence in myself and being like, okay, I can do this. It's normal. It's fine. And I started talking to myself like, yeah, I can do it. And it becomes easier as a result. Same thing with like me literally posting this right now. I could have been like, if I was doing this a little while back, I would maybe calling myself cringe. Maybe being like, what am I doing right now? There's literal like strangers on the internet, or people that I even know in real life, that are looking at me and probably being like, what is this girl doing? Or I had like negative self-talk about myself, of what other people would think of me. I've come a long way, as you can see. I'm telling myself, I can do this. I can literally talk to a camera and post it for the whole world to see and still be okay. Okay? That's where your self-concept comes into play. It's how you speak to yourself. It's how you think and what you think you can do. Now, you say you want that life for yourself, but you don't think you can achieve it or you can do it. You're already stopping yourself. You gotta change that, okay? And once you change that, you can create a better life for yourself as a result. Ooh, another topic that I remember thinking about. Do we all know, are we all familiar with the topic of glowing up? I'm sure we all are. God, okay. It's like, you know that sound that was on TikTok when I first used to use TikTok back? Oh my God. That sound that goes like, just wait till I glow up. Just wait till I glow up. Bro, don't wait till you glow up. People didn't glow up like that either. Like, I mean, like, naturally some people did glow up, but like wanting a glow up and wanting it so bad is like wanting that life for yourself but not putting any work to it. You want to glow up, but you're not even taking care of yourself or changing something or doing something differently, but you're just wanting it and not doing anything about it. It's the same thing. You want a good life, but you're not doing anything about it. Same thing. Now, falling in love with your life is like falling in love. First thing is falling in love with yourself. Again, self-concept, falling in love with yourself so that you can fall in love with your life. And that's why I say find joy in the tiny things, okay? Get away from distractions in your life. Get away from comparisons in your life. Focus on you and your life, okay? You are the main character. You are the main character, okay? No one can tell you otherwise. And it's truly because we're all living our own lives. Like I could be imagining what my siblings are doing right now, what their lives are like, but that's not my business. My life is my business. I can obviously helping my siblings out, being there for them, that's different. But like, why should I be focusing on what they're doing when I'm not focusing on me? It's the same thing with like social media. When you're seeing all these friends, acquaintances, random strangers on the internet, that you care so much about what they're doing with their lives, but you're not like caring about what you're doing with your life. It reminds me of the time like I used to play video games a lot when I was younger. And it was kind of a distraction because I would sometimes like stop for a bit and then look at my real life and be like, what am I doing right now? I'm literally just staring at a screen and my brain is like going crazy, but I'm literally just staring at a screen and like not building a life for myself. Like I didn't have anything going on in real life. Falling in love with your life is also just focusing on your real life, your real surroundings, the people who are physically there with you, where you are, how you spend your day, where you go, what you physically feel. Live in real life and live in your present. Be present, okay? Plan for the future, but don't live in the future. Live in the present, okay? Now, another thing is you got to take ownership for your life, and that also means taking ownership for your own decisions. Remember how I was talking about like I kind of wish I was given like a set guideline on how to live life? Like back in high school, I wish I was just given my career and I would just handpick it and just complete all the levels. You gotta take control of your own life. Make those decisions for yourself, okay? A lot of people do things for their parents, for example. I know being a brown girl, like being in a Desi household, I have felt pressure to just do things for the sake of my parents. And again, I love my parents and I respect my parents. But I also think I owe myself to do what I want to do in life and build a life for me, because I know that they will be proud as well. Now again, I know what your parents want for you is the best for you, but they're also living life for the first time as well. They know better. You can ask them for advice. But again, your life is your life at the end of the day. I'm just gonna sit down a little. Your life is your life at the end of the day. You gotta make those decisions for yourself, okay? After leaving university, again, I was kind of just like, being a student, you're just kind of like following everyone else's advice of what to do and what is right to do and what you shouldn't do. But when you enter the real world, you realize how much freedom you actually have, and the decisions that you can make can literally be anything, okay? But you gotta take ownership for your life, which means if you wanna make a certain life for yourself, if you wanna feel happy about life, you gotta take the steps to be happy. Figure out how to be happy. Figure out how to take control of your life, how to do things for yourself, how to help others as well. Now that's another thing I started to do was, you'll only feel fulfilled when you're helping yourself, but you gotta help the world too. You gotta think about how you're helping your community and what your place in society is as well. Now, making these videos, for example, I feel like I'm helping myself, but I'm also helping anybody who's watching it, maybe learning something from it. Volunteering is another thing. Like I used to kind of be scared of volunteering because I didn't know how it worked. But again, taking that decision and just taking that step and just helping people makes you feel good. It makes you feel good about yourself and good about the work that you're doing to help others. When people say thank you and you feel like you just, helped make someone's life a little bit better, it makes you feel good, okay? It really makes you feel good inside. So I would recommend finding anything where you can just give help. Just help. Just be a little selfless in that aspect, And that also brings me to spirituality. For those who are spiritual or not, you need something. You need to realize that this life is like for something at the end of the day. Again, this is up to whoever is watching, whatever you believe. Your beliefs are your beliefs. But for me, I know it's just kind of like having faith in something that's bigger than me just kind of takes off the pressure in life. Having like that trust that everything will work out because I'm trying my best and I'm praying for the best, and then in turn life kind of does start to feel that way, it's literally how I'm getting through life and enjoying my life while trying not to stress about it. Because I feel like, especially recently since I've like made these changes, I feel a lot more relieved. I just have like trust that everything's gonna work out. Regardless of how it goes, it'll work out the best way for me. And this is, again, my self-concept, the way I'm speaking to myself. And that's how I feel about myself and my life. And that's how things unfold for me. Okay? Now, I want you to do the same thing in the sense to just have faith. Just know that things are happening. Again, everything happens for a reason. Things are happening and working out in the best way possible for you. Okay? Okay? Relax. Relax. Life is not meant to be taken that seriously. But you gotta take the steps to build that life for yourself, okay? But back at, you make your own decisions, you build your own life. Don't just follow people just for the sake of following. And don't people please, okay? It'll make you feel worse. It'll make you feel so much worse because you'll be like, what am I living for? You're living for other people and you're not living for yourself. You're gonna resent everything in life. It's not worth it, okay? Be a kind person. Help people. Don't do it at your own expense. It's like when you're on an airplane, they tell you to put the mask on yourself before you put it on another person. Help yourself before you help others. How are you supposed to fill up other people's glasses if you can't even fill up your own? Now again, falling in love with your life, it's a process. And it's all in the journey of building that life for yourself. I feel more fulfilled because I have things I can look forward to, things to work on, things to grow in. There's so much to life and I'm excited for it. Having that excitement for life is what makes you fall in love with it too, okay? And this is why I just love working on myself. There's like, again, it does feel like a video game because there's so much potential. I can achieve so much and do so much, and I'm just excited to do more. And this is like a very healthy and good mindset to have, because I know when people are going through things like depression, or they're not feeling good about themselves or their lives, it's usually because you don't feel like it can get better, or you don't have anything to strive for, to look forward to. You feel like giving up. But that hard work that you put in builds over time, and it creates that gratitude, that good life that you want to live. We hold ourselves back a lot. We don't talk enough about our issues with people that we trust. We don't try to help ourselves. And that's when you stay stagnant, you stop, okay? Make those choices for yourself. Change your life. Take control of your life and change your life for the better. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to hold your hand. If you want to make money, no one's going to make the money for you, okay? You can pray all you want that your fortune opens up. It might. But you know what will most likely do it is if you do it yourself. Is if you take that step to get more money. Take that step to make more money. Have God helping you, but you gotta help yourself too. Okay? Don't wait for life. Don't wait for things to happen. Things are not gonna happen unless you make them happen, okay? Don't be passive in life. And I've had this problem of being passive in life. But a lot of people don't get what they want because they don't ask for it. A lot of people don't get what they want because they don't go after it. And I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm not saying to chase anything. Things will naturally happen once you just take one step towards it. Once you take the tiny steps. Once you say that I want this and I'm going to try for it. I'm going to go for it. take action, okay? Build that life for yourself. Assess where you are. Get up. Do something every single day that'll make you feel like you're at least 1% better, that you feel proud about yourself or the life that you're making for yourself. Have hobbies. Okay, how did I forget about this? Have hobbies, okay? Hobbies build your personality. They give you things to do in your life, okay? Get off your phone and do something. Go pick up a hobby, okay? Do something with your hands. Use your mind, okay? Don't just like waste your time. Don't take life for granted, and don't take your time for granted either. Don't waste your time. You don't know how long you're gonna live. I don't know how long I'm gonna live. But that's why I'm trying to take each year, set goals for myself each year, and just try to live as best as I can. Not putting too much pressure on myself, because again, you don't want to burn yourself out. But you want to just keep pushing yourself just a tiny bit until it just gets easier every time. And this is why I love vision boards. I have a vision board somewhere there, which you guys have probably seen in other videos, but I'm not going to show it because it's personal to me. Again, if you zoom in those videos and you see it, whatever, I don't care that much. But they help you just remember what you're doing. They just help you remember what you're going after and what you're doing this for. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for God. You're doing this to just make a good life for yourself, okay? I feel like, again, yeah, yearly goals for yourself, monthly goals, weekly goals. Vision boards help to just remind yourself what you're working towards. It breaks it down a lot easier in the sense that we have, again, our visions for ourselves and our lives are so vast that it just kind of pinpoints everything so that it reminds you, it just reminds you of what you need to work on, okay? Whether it be like a picture of you, a picture of someone basically at a cafe doing work, and that just reminds you to like be that hardworking person, show up, and just put in work daily. It's the feeling, okay? And a lot of creating that life for yourself is not necessarily what it visually looks like, but more so what it feels like. Focus on the feeling of a good and happy and fulfilling life. And again, to live the life you want, you gotta make the life you want. You are not a baby anymore, okay? You gotta get up and take those steps. Figure out what you want out of life. What do you want out of this life? What is something that is really meaningful to you? Ask yourself those questions, okay? And hopefully in the end, everything works out even better than you could have imagined. And you find that inner happiness, okay? That is my goal for this video. I hope that you guys took something from it. And if anything, again, just change the way you look at things. Change your mindset. That's the most important thing. Changing the way that you look at life. It'll make you happier, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below because I'd like to know what you guys are thinking. And I will catch you guys in the next one then. Bye! I'm actually happy I'm making this video. You got this, okay?